I hope you're ready. This is going to be exciting.
And the Geico restarts up we go. Green flag is out and we're underway.
Just a few laps into this. Oh, the 37's getting loose. Oh, and he saves it. Oh, they're going 3 wide.
We've got a 5-way fight for the win of this race coming to 4 laps to go. He's gonna win it here in spectacular fashion.
Well, here we are. Round number 2 in the round of 12 in the Hidden Wit Brewing Company Xfinity Series. Welcome everybody here tonight on a Tuesday night for the cutoff race for the round of 8 here on V-Speed. I am joined in the booth. My name is Eddie Smith, and I'm joined in the booth with Jacob Linke as our co-commentator and Daniel Cunningham as our in-race reporter. Well, Jacob, it's nice to have you in the booth with me tonight. We're going to be calling some exciting racing. How you feeling about tonight?
Tonight feels good, Eddie. The Xfinity Series is one of the most competitive series we have here in Goat Locker, and Richmond's a super competitive track.
No doubt about it. And speaking of Richmond, it's a very interesting track, almost technical in the way you have to drive it. It takes a smooth input. You've got it's a weird oval, kind of opens up 3/4 of a mile in length. You see the 14 degrees of banking in Richmond, Virginia. And, what's so interesting about it is the fact that coming off of turn 4, the track opens up. You can see there down at the bottom where it opens up into that that front straightaway that's curved. And so you can get a lot of speed off of turn number 4. But going down into turn 1 and turn 2, it gets real tight on that turn 2 exit as the track straightens up. So you're going to see a lot of incidents potentially there tonight. You're going to have to stay on your P's and Q's. But we know about Richmond. We want to know about this playoff situation. And right now, only one driver locked in to the round of 8, and that is Levi McCarty after that win last week. And we got a lot of developments here. We've got some interesting decisions here, guys who were in the playoffs not showing up tonight. So 3 drivers not here tonight as far as we could tell, and they may show up in the last. I think it's too late for them. Jamie Barkas, not here tonight. Frederick Seagraves Jr., not here tonight. Jonah Colbert, not here tonight. And I believe one more, I will say Michael Kostick, not here tonight. So 4 drivers not going to make it. What's that going to do to their playoff hopes? One driver, Ryan Pendleton, needs a win to get in, likely before the race started. But now with those guys out, he may not need a win. He may just need to have a really good points day. So a lot can go on here tonight. Those drivers being out really changes a lot of things. One thing we do know for sure, Levi McCarty is locked in. Well, and take a look at our schedule, and we are down to the end of this thing. I can't believe how quickly this goes out, or this season flies by. It's just gone. We're down here at the end of the round of 12. We got Auto Club and Talladega the next 2 races. What a crazy round there with Auto Club and Talladega, Jake.
Yeah, it's super fun. I was consulting with Logan when he put it together, and it was a lot of contesting information on whether or not he wanted to let it all hang out in round of 8 and make sure we have the best for the championship 4.
Well, we're going to find out right now who's at least going to have a shot at the round of 4, and we're going to set the round of 8 here tonight. Before we do that, we got to get into the grid, and that is starting right now. We got to give out the Jam Printing and Promotions Poll Award, and that is going to go to none other than Patrick Dravitt with a 21.960, the only driver to log a 21-second time. And outside of him, it's going to be Christopher Morse Jr. In third, it's going to be Ryan Pendleton with Jacob Ellingson in fourth. In fifth, your in-race reporter, Daniel Cunningham and Levi McCarty locked in. Going to start sixth. In seventh, Jamie Lipke in that number 13 machine with Kevin Price in eighth. In ninth, Chris Sawyer with Warren Clayton in that 10th position. Then you got Brandon Wallace in 11th. In 12th, you got George Jewell. In 13th, Tyler Justice was at corner in that 14th position. And that is your grid tonight. Drop off in drivers. Usually pretty normal in the playoffs. We would love for that not to happen, but it happens. Folks get, they're out of the playoffs. They feel like they're not in there in a competition for the championship anymore, and they just stop showing up. It's been a thing that's happened in every league I've ever been in, Jacob. And so no surprise that it happens here in Goat Locker. But it's still going to put on some really good racing. Richmond has got a lot of legs to have some really good race here tonight. Well, everybody is starting to grid up here. I don't know. Jacob, what do you think about these point situation? We got those drivers being out really changed things, didn't it?
Yeah, I ended up having to toss my whole calculation sheet out the window with that one. But I am super curious on what's going to happen with Ryan Pendleton. 41 points behind Michael Kostick as of the drop at the green when we get it later, and I think it depends on where he's finishing tonight is going to make or break his chances in the playoff.
Yeah, I mean, we had a discussion about that, saying that with him missing last week, I mean, he could actually point himself in. I think the limit was about, I want to say about 41 points or something like that. He could point himself in. So if he finishes where he is right now, he might be locked in on points. So, yeah, I mean, interesting here. And we'll see. I don't think this is ready to go just yet. We're going to have point standings up here, and this will give us a good picture of what exactly. And you look right there, Ryan Pendleton at the moment is tied with 8th place Michael Kostick, who is not here tonight. So if Ryan Pendleton leads a lap, finishes 3rd, can get up there and finish 2nd. Right now he's actually back in 4th. So, yeah, a lot of movement can happen here. Those blank names are just drivers that aren't here tonight. Well, let's take a look at the race analysis. You've got 110 laps here tonight. 40 miles an hour is the pit road speed. 4 tire sets available. 2 green, white checkered attempts. 50% fuel load, which should tighten these cars up a little bit. Fixed setup and a fuel run anywhere between 55 and 60 laps. Well, they come around turn number 2. The pace car is going to get ready to head down. This track is all about momentum and keeping running the consistency, running the same lap, hitting that line just perfect, wrapping the bottom. But I think we'll see some passing on the outside for sure. And I bet you're going to need to be able to do that to get a win. Pace car is going to pull off though. 110 laps here. Cutoff race for the Henwick Brewing and Xfinity Series, and we are green. Off of turn 2, Patrick Dravitt's going to take the top spot, and it looks like only 11 drivers actually took the green flag here. So one of the smallest fields we've seen all season long here as, oh man, somebody's slow. It looks like Chris Sawyer, one of your playoff drivers, having trouble here early as he kind of gets a little bit loose there. And oh, Kevin Price goes around and saves it.
Still green.
What a save by Kevin Price. We'll see if we can go back real quick and look at that, see what happened to him. That all kind of happened together. And I probably just cold tires. See Kevin Price way up the track, going to come back down, and the 21 just gets a little bit nervous, gets loose. And then the same thing happened in the next corner for Kevin Price. He gets on the brake, trying not to get into 13, and he just goes around. So he's going to have a lot of work to do right now, though. The 07 pulling away, doing exactly what he needs to do. He pretty much locked into the playoffs. I feel like it was all kind of whatever until we found out all those people were missing. And so that kind of changed up a lot of things. You can see right there that 8th position is where we're going to be focusing. All the drivers below it are out of it, and they're not here tonight. So we'll kind of actually click this up a little bit so we can see everybody on here. And you can see the movement already. Caustic not here tonight, but still scoring enough points. Last week, I think he finished 2nd, and that's giving him enough right now. So Ryan Pendleton, I wonder if he's aware of the situation and knows that he just needs to have 1 point, because you were talking about it. We both kind of felt like he needed to get a win tonight, but now in a situation where he could point himself in, Jacob.
Yes, absolutely. Pendleton, I know from running with him in different series, he's definitely got the skills to keep it up near the front with the rest of the Goat Locker team, and he's doing what he did what he needed to do in practice and qualifying, and he's holding it steady right now in P3.
Yeah, we know that Goat Locker guy's there. Ooh, and he's going to clobber the wall right there.
Ooh.
Yeah, we don't want to do that. That's about the worst thing you could do. So they do have a fast repair, so he is not in the worst shape. But I wonder, teammates knowing how things, the Goat Locker guys always work together, and they know what's at stake. And both Jacob Ellingson, Patrick Drabick, clearly going to make the next round. So right now, it's got to be discussions going on in Discord about how do we get Ryan in here? Do we know the point situation? They don't necessarily know the live point situation. They don't see what we see right here. So unless they're watching the broadcast, they don't know that he is tied with 8. They might just assume that he's in the playoffs. So hopefully they kind of work on a plan there, try to get that figured out. If he can just lead a lap and finish 3rd, he will be locked in. Because I don't know what the tiebreaker will be. That's something that we'll have to look and kind of lean on the admins for. But right now, tied for that cutoff is Ryan Pendleton.
As they make their way down the backstretch into turn 3, it looked like Jake was trying to make a move to the inside there. One person that doesn't care about the point situation, Levi McCarty, sitting 5th right now, and I know he's going to be hungry to make his way up the field here soon.
Yeah, he is. He's in the best position, really. I love being in this spot where you're already locked in. You don't have to worry about points. You don't have to worry about having a bad race. And you just come in here and have fun and pin your ears back and go after it. So right now he's, besides George Jewell, the only driver that's actually made up a spot since we've dropped the green flag. We know how good he is. So definitely going to be a championship thread as we got a nice little 3-way battle here for 3rd position. As I wonder if that damage on the 23 is going to cause him to really struggle here. It seems like Ellingson may have enough speed to get around him, but trying to be patient. And while that's going on, Christopher Morse starting to slowly catch our leader.
Yep, Christopher Morris, top practice with a 21.917. Definitely got some speed in that number 81 machine. And he's reeling in Patrick Drabick here very quickly. Looks like they're trying to take the same line. Morse is going a little bit further down toward that yellow, exiting onto the backstretch.
Yeah, and I think that's a great line. You can actually get on the throttle right here a little bit sooner because of what we talked about at the start of the race, where the track opens up here. But watch here in turn 2 just how quickly that wall kind of jumps up at you. And you see the elevation change really makes the car light on the rear end as the transition happens. And you have to be really, really careful. But right in 3 and 4, you can almost stomp it here, just the way the track moves. You see a little bit of counter steer from Morse as they cross the line. Drabick, though, fastest car on the track last time by. So Morse keeping him in check, but Drabick now with the pace. He is leading the way. This battle back here for 3rd is still heating up, and I think maybe that damage on the 23 is really hurting him.
Yep. Ellingson and McCarty are slowly waiting for that mistake to come from Pendleton, waiting to pounce on him and get that position. It's definitely a little bit of a tall ask to try and keep both of them behind at this point, but I don't think he needs to worry about that too much if he continues to just run his race, keep his pace. Even if there's at the beginning of the pit cycle, just take that one extra lap, lead it, and I think he's definitely going to be able to make it back up here.
Yeah, I just wonder if he's aware of how close it is. You know what I'm saying? You just never know what drivers. Some of them actually listen to the broadcast while they're racing, some don't. So it's really hard to say. But yeah, I think you're right. I think you're hoping that Drabick and Morris hit pit road a little bit early. You get that lap led and then really fight for third. But you know, we've been talking about it, the point situation. All he's got to do is somehow get up there and win this race. Right now, he's not shown the pace, being 2.5 seconds back. But I mean, you know, the right situation plays out just perfectly. You got to keep yourself in the top 5. Maybe tonight, top 3 if you're going to win. And position presents itself, go win, then you don't have to worry about it at all. Points don't matter. But 20 laps. Yeah, go ahead.
Absolutely. Is right now, I'd like to think he's hanging back, saving from the rest of this first stint, trying to manage his expectations going into the back half of this race. As we see, it looks like McCarty's trying to make up some positions. He's getting a little impatient sitting there behind Jake. He's trying to push it to the inside, thinks better of it going into 3.
Yeah, you could definitely tell that Jacob's trying to be mindful of Ryan's situation. I feel like Jacob has been a little bit faster, but has been just playing it safe, trying to maintain this position. And you can see it's actually bringing in our in-race supporter, Daniel Cunningham. You see Jamie Lipke really blinking out there. He's been having a lot of connection issues, so he's down on the apron trying to just log laps. But yeah, it's starting to close in Cunningham as well, so we're going to have a 4-way battle for third here. I feel like that damage is really hurting him because he hit the wall pretty hard. So hopefully if we get a caution, that'd be great. He can go ahead and get that fast repair. But right now he's fighting for his life.
Yep, and as the rest of the field is strung out, I'm glad we have such a hellacious battle for P3 as there is. Jacob Ellingson playing rear gunner against Levi McCarty, and all of them trying to keep at it throughout the rest of this first segment here.
Yeah, I mean, incredible season. This has been the first race where we've had low car count, and really surprised by that. And of course, it could be almost anything. You know, these guys aren't paid to race, so they show up when they want to, when they can. It's just surprising to see so many folks out of it that were in the playoffs. It's such a bummer to see guys who have put in a lot of work this season and then just have it all go away just like that. So, you know, bummer to see that, but it's still a fantastic season this has been. You know, but what we're seeing right now is kind of what happened last season. Patrick Travick got hot at the end of this. At the end of the regular season. Now, that didn't happen this time. I feel like you're going to say who's hot. It's been maybe Levi McCarty here lately. But Drabick knows when to pick it up, and he's going to be your defending champion. So he knows how to get it done. And there's no doubt in my mind he's got his eyes on a championship and already on his way to move it on to the round of 8. But, you know, we talked about the schedule, Jacob, before we got started, and the schedule doesn't lend itself to a comfortable round of 8, does it? With Auto Club and Talladega being in the next round, what a crazy round that's going to be.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Auto Club's definitely catered more towards consistency, and Talladega is, well, it's a crapshoot. You get what you get at Talladega, and you just run with it. And we could see we could see a shock move on into the round of 4. Somebody that has a bad Auto Club could win it and get in there at the last moment.
Yeah, oh, I love it. I mean, you know, like this race, Ryan Pendleton's really the only driver that can move the needle as far as, point standings and stuff go. There's not enough drivers on the track for anybody to lose much. So Ryan's really the only, and the guy he's fighting is not even here. So he's racing a ghost. He's racing the ghost of Michael Kostick at the moment. And so he's racing that point total, and that's really it. So, but Talladega will definitely be a wild race because, even though we'll have 10 here at Richmond tonight, there'll be 30 drivers that show up for Talladega. It always seems to be the case.
Everybody loves plate racing because you've always got a shot to win it, regardless of where you're at. Like, just make sure you're still in the draft, keep your car clean, and if you're running at the end, you got a shot. That's how it always goes. McCarty, however, seems to have dropped off of this battle here for third, and he is currently being reeled in by the Ghost Energy Chevrolet of Daniel Cunningham.
Well, speaking of Daniel Cunningham, he is our in-race supporter, so I'm going to bring him up mid-green flag run when he is trying to run down Levi McCarty and put him on blast here. We got our in-race supporter, Daniel Cunningham. Daniel, 33 laps into this thing. You're hunting down Levi McCarty. What's the car feeling like at the moment?
It doesn't feel too bad. I mean, it's still a little loose on entry sometimes, and you got to be a little ginger getting back to the throttle with it. But, yeah, after the first handful of laps, it balances out pretty well. But dirty air definitely seems to be a factor. I kind of get to a certain point behind them, and then it seems like the handling just kind of goes away. So we'll see if we can find a way around them here.
Well, you've had a really good season. You're looking good on the points. Obviously, you're going to be in tonight with the car count. Now you're looking forward to Auto Club in Talladega. So tonight's just sort of a swan song. What's your goal tonight? You're sixth right now. You're going to try some crazy strategy and try to get that win?
Oh, you know me. I'm always thinking of a crazy strategy. I think with some of the ideas I've come up with, I'm overqualified to work for Ferrari on the F1 side. So, we'll see. I'm kind of keeping an eye on what the black box says for a fuel run and wondering if some of these other guys might have to 2-stop or 1-stop. So, we might try to do something a little different here. Just depends on what the other guys in front of me do.
I love it. There's your in-race supporter, Daniel Cunningham, giving us a little bit of insight. How about that? Pretty cool to have a little insight from a driver under green flag conditions, and you can see he's running down Levi McCarty ever so slowly. As he was talking about dirty air, there's plenty of dirty air behind this 23 machine.
Yep, it looks like that battle for third is definitely closed back up with Pendleton, Jake Ellingson in the middle. Whoa, a little bit of a wiggle on exit there for Ellingson as McCarty comes back toward his back bumper. Got a little bit of lap traffic factoring into the front of the field here as we're starting to close up. The leader got past Jamie Libke, and now Kevin Price is in Patrick Drabick's crosshairs. I'm wondering if Morris is going to try and capitalize on him possibly getting slowed up.
Yeah, man, it'd be a good opportunity to try to make up some time for sure. Yeah, this race has turned into it's a particular type of race now. It's likely going to go green. You would assume that the less variables on track to cause a caution, the chances of a caution go way down. So outside of this little gaggle of cars that Ryan is leading, not going to be too many opportunities for a caution. So, if you're Patrick Drabick, Christopher Morris, you guys are starting to pull away a little bit. You're kind of in the catbird seat as far as strategy goes. You can see Levi McCarty getting a little frustrated, trying to find something to make up some time here, but just can't find a way to get up to that 27 and get around him. He tried that outside line. It did not work. But, this race is going to be interesting. I mean, everybody here that's in the playoffs is in except for Ryan Pendleton. So, I don't know if we'll see any kind of crazy strategies, but right now, no cautions are likely going to come out. You're going to run come down pit road, change tires. Doesn't seem like, tire fall off is a huge deal. It really never is here at Richmond with a track temp of 73 degrees. You've got all the grip you would ever need. So this race I think is just right now. It for the most part, it's just Ryan Pendleton and Patrick Drabick who's leading. But Ryan is really the only driver that as far as the points go. But I don't know. I don't know what to say about this race. I mean, Patrick's doing exactly what he needs to do. He's pulling away from Morse now as this run goes on. He'll come down pit road. And Jacob, I think at this point, you just don't want any mistakes on pit road. We've had a few guys this season have issues with speed and penalties and not making the pit road entry. That's really the only variable I can think of that could be a huge problem here tonight.
Speeding penalties, entry of pit road, missing your box. Speaking of entering pit road, we got Christopher Morse pulling into his box now.
First taker.
P2.
Yeah, first taker. Coming down pit road, feeling like his tires are gone. We talked about that fuel run, anywhere between 55 and 60 laps. So he's really going to be pushing it here. And maybe something we were hearing Daniel Cunningham talking about. He's going to have to two-stop this thing. He's not going to be able to make it on this on a tank of fuel. So I don't know if that was a mistake or if that's what he meant to do. Because if you can make it to lap 55, you better make it, because one stop is going to be way faster than coming down pit road. So Warren Clayton also looks like he is down pit road as well. So, and here comes I thought Jacob Ellingson was coming. He's slow.
Nope, we had a position change just then. Looked like he got loose behind Pendleton, and McCarty and Cunningham capitalized.
Yeah, checking the replay here on the V-Speed replay. Something happened to Ellingson as he is trying to kind of hold back the water, and he goes way up the track. And it looks like it was on purpose, so interesting. What do you make of that, Jacob? I don't know. I don't even know what that means. Unless he's trying to save fuel now. He might have realized the fuel situation, and now he's backing off because he is falling way off the pace now.
I think what it might be, depending on if he's definitely fallen off a little bit. I think what it is what you mentioned earlier about trying to minimize mistakes. Get away from those cars that are around you that could cause any sort of miscue or anything getting into the pits. Hit your marks, hit that pit line, make sure you're at speed, and get into your box.
Well, we're going to find out as they cross the line. We'll see if Jacob Ellingson running off the pace. We heard, yeah, he's... I don't know. I have no idea. That is the weirdest thing I've ever seen. He just gave up 2 positions and moved up high. It was definitely intentional. So he's now running. He's about a 10th slower than Ryan Pendleton. So let's go on board, brother. We'll see if we hear any saving. That's the best way to know. On board with Jacob Ellingson. Let's see if we hear any clutching going on. I don't hear any clutching, but something. The car looks like it's a little bit. Something's not right. So I don't know if he smacked the wall or something we didn't see, but the car looks really unstable at the moment.
He's definitely putting a little more wheel into it, but that's to be expected with 50 laps on your tires here. He's dropped off about 2 seconds back on the fight for third as we see it, or the fight for second now as we see it.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened to Ellingson, but something happened. He's not saving. Yeah, I wonder if he didn't hit the wall. We just missed it somehow because the car, this car should be, let's go check out Patrick Rabbit. See what his car looks like. Yeah, you can see he's a little floaty too, so. I don't know what happened there, but either way, Ryan Pendleton now dealing with the lap traffic of Kevin Price as he's trying to hold on to that second position. And as the points sit right now, that should put Ryan Pendleton above the cutoff, and it does. So by 1 point, if the race were to end right now, Ryan Pendleton is in on points in this race. But of course, Christopher Morse Jr. comes down pit road, so I'm not real sure if these guys can make it. I mean, they can make it one more lap. They can make it a one more stop, Jacob. So I think Morse might have made a mistake because I think he came down on 45 thinking we had to two-stop it. But here comes Ryan Pendleton. Still on track on lap 55. You can make it 55 more laps. So I think Morse made a mistake, and that is going to help out Ryan Pendleton by giving him that extra spot because Morse is never going to catch back up. So Wow.
Well, if you're looking right now, you see Christopher Morse blowing the doors off of Ryan Pendleton, getting past there with those fresh tires. He's going to be looking for Drabick to unlap himself next, and I think that might be the strategy here, because everybody else still has to pit. He can take another stop. He's going to continue on those fresh tires as long as he can. He's got the sets of tires for it. It's just the fuel that's tripping him up.
Yeah, well, 2 stops versus 1 stop, it's always going to be faster just to 1 stop it. And this is where you don't want to have mistakes. If you're Ryan Pendleton, you've gotten the advantage. I don't know if he got the lap led there. He did. So Ryan Pendleton was able to stay out as Patrick Drabick is down on pit road. He's already made his stop. So Ryan Pendleton stays out, gets the point, and now Jacob Ellingson going to stay out. And you can see both those drivers coming down pit road right now, making their stops, no penalties. Chris Sawyer actually with a speeding penalty, the 21 machine. So he came down pit road. He is in the playoffs, though. He's about 20 points above Ryan Pendleton. And so right now, with that lap led, Ryan Pendleton is going to come out of pit road, though. He is going to drop a couple spots as Morse is now ahead, still waiting on Ellingson to come down pit road, which he does right now. He's on pit road. And so that will give Ryan Pendleton that spot, and he'll be tied again, but Christopher Morse Jr. will still have to come down pit road one more time, and that's going to effectively give Ryan Pendleton the position he needs, even with Levi McCarty beating him off pit road. So right now in this position, Ryan Pendleton should be good. He's tied at the moment. Christopher Morse is going to have to pit again, and that will – Ryan Pendleton's target right now is finishing third. He has to finish third, and he'll be good. So, pretty good calls there to stay out. Like you said, get that extra point, Jacob.
Yep, getting that lap led, getting that 1 point buffer. As we've seen in previous seasons with GLR and in real life, every point counts.
Yeah, that could be huge. So right now he's tied. We don't know the tiebreaker, so he may win the tiebreaker. I feel like I should know this. I want to say it might be like average finish or something, but and he's going to get loose. Going to the inside of, I think that was, who the heck was that?
That's Jamie Lipke.
Oh, Lipke, who's back on track, man. Pendleton trying to get under him, gets loose and almost lost it, and all that we're talking about almost went away.
Definitely making things interesting. He's got it saved. He's got it righted now, and he's got Cunningham sitting about 2.5 seconds behind. They're trying to get around. Lipke as of right now, but Pendleton's still sitting in fourth. He's just got to cruise right now. Just make sure that you're in there. Christopher Morse still has to make one more stop. He just needs to sit and do nothing.
I tell you what, if he was dead in his seat when that happened, it brought him back to life. Good gosh, what a scary moment for someone trying to make the playoffs. Man, about gave me a heart attack. So 63 of 110, still a little under halfway left in this thing. Right now, it's Christopher Morse Jr. who's out front, although he did pit back on lap 45. Now we were told it was about 55 laps on fuel. So a lot of times you could stretch it a little bit, 55 to 60 laps, but I don't think he's going to be able to do 65 laps. So he's obviously very fast. He got 12 lap fresher tires than Patrick Drabick, has a 3.2 second lead, but that extra pit stop, he's not going to be able to overcome that. I don't think so. The pit road speed is just too slow. Even if you come down pit road and take fuel only, the time that you spend driving around at pit road speed is going to be enough to put him most likely a lap down. I don't know if, I think he's done that before. So I'm not real sure what the strategy is, but this is not one of those tracks where tire wear is a huge deal. A lot of times if you're having, right now, they're only dropping off about a second over a run, and usually it needs about 3 seconds on a shorter track of tire differential between fresh tires and older tires to really make a difference. So it's not enough to have the extra set of tires, unfortunately, for Chris. So he's definitely going to have to come back down pit road at some point. So right now, I think Jacob, he's just hoping for a caution, something that lets him keep this track position, but gets fresh tires.
Yep, that had to have been the plan for Chris Morse, because Patrick Dravick has hacked away about half a second a lap since we've started talking about this gap to the lead here. Patrick Dravick on a mission with those fresh tires, trying to get back up to the lead.
Yeah, and he will. I mean, Christopher Morse is now fallen into the 23-second bracket, and Patrick Dravick's still 22.4, so he's still on the good goods of these good years. And so he's making up all that time that he had built over Christopher Morse when Morse came down pit road. So he will get by him likely with no issue and continue to just put a hurting on this field. Right now he is 5.5 seconds ahead of Levi McCarty. And so Patrick Dravick, that form that he had at the end of the season last season that carried him all the way to the end, he is really starting to pick up now. And man, every series he is in, he is a threat to win this thing. And you can see catching up to Morse quickly, and you can see the difference in speed as they go through the corner. And Morse, he can fight if he wants, but he knows that there's nothing he can do to keep Patrick behind him.
Yep, he's definitely got to be kicking himself in that seat right now. He doesn't have anything to worry about with the playoff considerations, but that win definitely would have looked really good on his mantle.
Yeah, and it's hard to know without, we have luckily able to pull in Daniel Cunningham, but we really don't know what these drivers are thinking half the time. And he may have known that he wasn't going to be able to run down Dravick. And Dravick was slowly pulling away there, trying something, hoping to get some track position, maybe catch a caution at the right time. Like you said, he's locked in, so why not try something crazy? He's likely going to finish, out. He's probably going to finish a lap down, but 7th or 8th, unless we do get that caution. But he's going to be locked in no matter what. So right now, Ryan Pendleton sweating it out just a little bit longer, but once Morse hits that pit road, if it stays green, Ryan should be in good shape. He is putting in lap times very similar to those around him, and he's actually slowly catching Levi McCarty here, who was able to kind of jump ahead of him after that pit stop. And here comes Christopher Morse right now. So we're gonna find out just how big a difference it's gonna make coming down pit road. We'll see if he takes 4 tires, 2 tires, or fuel only. I don't know what the call is. Either way, I don't think none of it really matters.
Yep, regardless of what he takes here, he's more than likely going to end up a lap down when he exits the pits. And I don't think he's going to be able to catch up a whole lap on the leader as it stands right now, because Patrick Dravick, as of the calculation, he is at least 2 to the good right now to finish this race. Yeah,
Morse just spent and he's just sitting on pit road right now. So I think he knows his race is over with. He did 4 tires, a little bit of fuel, and I think he might just be saying, all right, I think I'm done. I'm already into the round of 8. I don't have anything to worry about. So right now, all eyes on Ryan Pendleton, who now will inherit that 8th position over the ghost of Michael Kostick. And now it just needs everything to go the way that it's going right now. No issues. Take wide berths when you're passing lap cars and just get to that checkered flag, and then there is no question whether or not Ryan Pendleton will be racing in the round of 8. And Patrick Dravick now to a 5.8 second lead over Levi McCarty, and right now we're just logging laps at the moment. So Ryan could lose this position and win the tiebreaker. I wish I could look down the average finish here, and average finish of Michael Kostick is 11th. And then, let's see, Ryan Pendleton's average finish is 8th. But if it's the best finish in the round, which a lot of times I think in Goat Locker, that's what they have done in the past, is whoever has the best finish in the round. And that would right now go to Michael Kostick, who finished 2nd last week, if I'm not mistaken. And no, Michael Kostick finished 3rd. So, yeah, let's just hope that doesn't happen, because that's going to be a wild it's going to be a wild I don't know. If it's average finish, then looks like Ryan Pendleton will have it. So you can hear I'm spinning my wheels here trying to figure out what's going to happen. And so I just kind of hope that doesn't happen.
That's what makes it exciting. We don't know what's going to happen as of right now. But what we do know is that Ryan Pendleton is 1 point to the good on Michael Kostick for that 8th spot right now. And even if he does catch Levi McCarty, which it looks like he's getting close to right now, he doesn't have to pass him. He doesn't have to fight for the position. He is good on the point. But definitely getting interviewed by you 1 spot early is definitely a good motivator, Eddie.
Well, yeah, and he's also I'm not sure if he's aware of the whole situation. Like, he may not be aware of all the points and how it's working out. So, so why not go for that extra? If Levi, if you're catching him and you're that much faster, then no point in not getting that extra spot. Give you that extra safety just in case there's like a rounding error or something, which I don't think there will be. But looks like he is faster at the moment, and we do have a soundbite from Christopher Morris Jr., and who is out of this race. He's called it quits. He's moved on to the round of 8. So we watch this battle here. And he said, I guess I'm wasting fuel somewhere. I saved the last 15 laps of the first run and still was going to be 2 laps short. Same problem at the Glen and Arca, just missing fuel, I guess. So there you have it. Christopher Morris Jr. wasn't going to be able to make it. That's why he pitted as early as he did. As you see Ryan Pendleton trying to get to the inside of Levi McCarty, Jacob. We thought Levi might make it easy, but Ryan needs to be careful here.
I don't know why he's pushing so hard. Just wait a couple of laps, and you'll have Kevin Price right there as a pick to get around him. I don't know what McCarty's going to do to get back at him here.
Oh, and he's going to give him a shot.
Oh, we got contact. We got a shot.
Oh man. Well, Ryan gave him a shot, and then Levi said, "I don't appreciate that." Gave him one back, but they were able to solve it just like that, and now Ryan Pendleton into that second position. He's 7.7 seconds back from Patrick Drabbit, but now solidly 2 points above Michael Kostick. And so a great job by Ryan Pendleton. And maybe the reason why Ryan seemed like he was holding folks up in that first run, he was saving fuel, which apparently was tighter than we may have thought. So great job by Ryan, knowing what he needs to do. He's played it perfectly at this point. And looks like he is going to be racing in the round of 8 unless we get some sort of weird caution. Got some penalties going on all over the track. Got a meatball out of Jamie Lipke. It's Warren Clayton. He has a pit road speeding violation. So Warren Clayton coming off a pit road now and had to sit there for about 56 seconds. So Warren got caught speeding. He is 9 laps down, so he comes back out on track.
Yep, Lipke ended up making some pretty hard wall contact. Props to them for keeping it going, just getting those laps, getting those reps in. Just didn't turn out quite the way they wanted to tonight. And Warren Clayton, seeing him turn out to this race is definitely good to see as well. He's one of our Goat Locker sim rig recipients, has definitely taken to the community well, and has definitely put himself, I need to stop saying that. He is a fixture in this community as of right now.
Yeah, for sure. I'll tell you what, let's take a look and see if we can find out what happened to Jamie Lipke. He's been having network issues, so I don't know if this was a part of it. We'll go back and see. Oh, he's just going to get loose, just like you said, and then hard into that inside wall. No caution came out, and he was able to drive away and has since called it quits. So the first spin we've seen here tonight, so surprising to see it happen like that. But right now it's all Patrick Drabbit. Lap 91 of 110, just logging laps at this point, and the closest battle on the track is going to be Levi McCarty and Daniel Cunningham, who are now going to be battling for that third position. Levi pitted. He's been on the track longer than most anybody. Here comes George Jewell, somebody we haven't talked about much tonight, who's in the playoffs. I know Shasta in the chat would love for us to talk about him just a little bit, and he is in the playoffs. We'd love to talk about him, but he is driven so good and had such a good season that he is just showing up tonight, moved him to the next round. But he's doing a sort of a 2-stop race as well, and that will lose him a few spots. But he is by no means in danger of falling out of the point. You see him there in 6th place, quite a few points ahead of 8th place Ryan Pendleton. So no worries. For the 36, he's going to come back out on track in that Alexander PC Chevrolet Camaro.
Yep, George Jewell, one of the nicest guys you'll ever meet in the server, in any iRacing community. He is always he's quiet. Like, he says what he needs to when he needs to, and he is one of the best things you could, or best people you could have to ask for as a teammate in Save 22. Definitely worked with him a couple of times in different series, and I'm very happy to see him moving on into the round of 8.
You couldn't have said it any better than that. I completely agree, and honestly, he has gotten a lot better too. Like, I've seen this season, George Jewell come out, swinging for the fences, making some really good moves, having some really good runs in all of the series. So he has gotten better over the course of the last couple seasons here in Goat Locker. And the improvement is really showing. I mean, these are some of the most competitive fields that Goat Locker's ever put out. This is the first season that I'm not quite sure what is the most competitive series, because it is a slaughterhouse in every single one. And he has been a fixture in most of the series that he runs in. So George Jewell really got it figured out and starting to improve, and he's going to have a chance next week at Auto Club to maybe lock himself in. This battle between Levi McCarty and Cunningham's picking up here with just a little bit over 10 laps to go, and none of this matters as far as the point battle. Nobody can lose or gain anything except for Ryan Pendleton. He's comfortably in that, I wouldn't say comfortably, but he's up there about a second ahead of Levi McCarty. And Levi McCarty's going to have his hands full. So right now it's just on Ryan Pendleton not making mistakes, and he is just praying no caution.
No caution, no mistakes, just needs to hit his marks, keep running that line he has been the entire race. Cunningham looked like he scraped the wall on entry there, but he is keeping his gap consistent with McCarty.
Yeah, I don't love races where I don't really have anything to lose or gain. It always just kind of feels like, I don't know. I'm always curious if people race hard or what they decide to do. Like right here, how hard is Cunningham going to push the issue? Because he can go both ways. He's going to push the issue for sure. Is he going to dive down to the inside of the 18, starting to feel like the 18's giving up a little bit of the juice? The 18 going to fight hard, because you can go both ways. You're like, I don't care if I have a wreck, I'm going to go out there and pin my ears back and go after it. Or I don't care how this race ends up, I'm just going to ride behind this guy. I feel like that's what Jacob Ellingson's been doing all night, just kind of riding and not really putting up a fight, not getting caught up in any battles, just running by his lonesome. And so 2 totally different ways of dealing with this, and both of them are right.
Yeah, it's just another day at the office for a lot of these guys. It's strung out a little bit. We don't get many races going fully green as we've seen here. Levi McCarty going to the top, and Cunningham definitely taking that spot. Thank you very much. But a lot of these races we've seen 1, 2. This series in particular has seen, I want to say, the least average on cautions out of all of the series. Correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah. I don't know. Sounds good. We'll take it. I don't know. I'm not going to fact check you. It sounds exactly right. As we got Levi McCarty still falling back as he is struggling with the handling of the car. Either that or he's trying to make it to the end. I think that may be because he came down pretty early. He's 50 laps on this stint. We know that could go about 55, so he's pretty close. And honestly, I didn't really hear his car when he was entering the corner. Let's see if he is backing off on board with Levi McCarty. Watch that RPM gauge. There he is. Coasting in the corner, trying to make it to the end. Hit it a little bit earlier than he wanted to. We know that Christopher Morris was saying that he was close on fuel. And you can see he's really off the pace. Here comes George Jewell through. So Levi McCarty may not make it on fuel. Up here at the front, we'll check on Patrick Dravick, who just pitted maybe one lap after Levi, and he seems to be in good shape. So I don't see any kind of lifting or, clutching it, trying to make it on fuel. So it looks like he is in good shape. But Levi McCarty struggling here on fuel as we get late in this thing, 4 laps to go. And don't look now. Yep. Daniel Cunningham starting to close up on second. Ryan Pendleton.
Yeah, Pendleton maybe taking the conservative run a little too seriously here. He's definitely working for that podium. He's good on points. I don't think he has to do much of anything else right now. He's got the 2-point buffer to P9 in the points, and even if Cunningham gets past him, he's still in.
Yeah, he just no real mistakes here. I think if Cunningham gets to you, I don't know. I don't think you fight hard. I mean, Ellingson, he was in a cutoff situation. I think last season or a season before in the Friday Night Truck Series, and actually spun out. He was in on the white flag, was racing off of turn 2. I can't remember. It feels like it might have been Richmond, and spins out and fell out of the playoffs. And so it can definitely happen. But up front, it is Patrick Dravick has a 9.8 second lead. I don't think there's anybody that has dominated this season like this right here. And Patrick Dravick coming off of turn 4. He is going racing the round of 8. Little fist pump. Didn't have to work too hard for that one. That is an ass kicking if I've ever seen one. And he is going to be your winner here tonight. Little nice little. It's almost like you said, a day at the office for them GLR boys. Patrick Dravick with the win. And Ryan Pendleton is going to be your second place finisher. And that should give him that 8th position. And looks like it does. So.
Yep. Daniel Cunningham rounding out the podium, bringing it up in 3rd. And it is as cut and dry as you can make it. Green flag all the way from start to finish. Just made it on fuel. And everybody's, I would say, glad it's over. No more so than both Ryan Pendleton and Patrick Dravick especially.
For sure. Well, Patrick Dravick's going to burn it down on the front stretch. We're going to take a short break, thanking our sponsors, and we'll be right back for these interviews in just a moment.
A thriving job market and low cost of living, plus a wide range of veteran benefits, make Indiana the perfect place for veterans of the United States military to call home. InVets can help you find that home. We're an organization started by veterans to help former service members transition to civilian life in our state. InVets can help you find the community with the career opportunities, housing, schools, and amenities that fit your lifestyle. To learn more about InVets, visit us at invets.org today.
Well, all right, we are back. My goodness, I don't know if that was an exciting race, but a good one. A good day at the office. I love the way that Jacob Lemke put it. Lemke, excuse me. I don't know why I added an MP to your name, but yeah, I mean, just a good day at the office. Let's take a look at the results here. Patrick Dravick wins by 10.7 seconds over his teammate Ryan Pendleton, who was able to point his way in by a few drivers missing the race who were in. Crazy situation. I can't wait to hear what Jacob has Pendleton about that to hear all of what Ryan's thoughts were, what he knew going into the race. So, but he comes home in second. We'll race for the championship, still in it. Daniel Cunningham, a very good third-place finish, thanks to him for being our in-race reporter. Jacob Ellingson comes home in fourth. In fifth, going to be Levi McCarty, George Jewell in sixth, Kevin Price in seventh, Warren Clayton in eighth, Jamie Lipke in ninth, and Christopher Morse Jr. in 10th. And then in 11th, is Chris Sawyer, who quit after a little bit, but he was already in the round of 8. And that's going to be your result. So we got to bring our winner in here, Patrick Rabbit, and we'll talk to him, see what his thoughts are about this race. Patrick, this is Eddie in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, wow, what a race. What an interesting race all around. A lot of stuff to kind of think about and talk about here. You had a smaller field. You were all but locked. You're all but locked in by points. And with a shorter field, you came into the race. You just needed to start the race. That's really all that mattered. And so you kind of pinned your ears back and said, I'm going after them. And you got out front, and they never were able to get back to you and you just dominated this race.
Yeah, I mean, it was a whole heck of a lot of fun. I love Richmond. Don't know what it is about this track. Used to hate it to death. Finally figured something out and love coming to it. So a lot of fun, a lot of fuel saving. It was a lot of lifting early to get it to halfway and a lot of lifting early to bring it home to the finish line. And I think everybody was kind of playing that whole fuel saving game here tonight.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about that because we were trying to figure it out. We were told about 55 laps on fuel, but what could you reasonably make if you were going all out?
Yeah, you probably 52.
Really?
You were going to be at least 3 or 4 laps short if you just kept up the race pace. So you definitely had to start lifting.
Wow. So yeah, well, that's crazy. We were wondering just kind of the pace and we were so focused on the point situation. We were trying to figure out how that was all playing out. And so interesting to hear that everybody was having to say, we know Chris Morse came down pit road too early and realized that he made a mistake. And that kind of took any kind of, anybody that was going to kind of run you down at that point. But even saving fuel, you were able to be out front, kicking everybody's butt. So you knew how to do it and get it done. And we talked about in the race how last season, at the end of the season, you came on strong. You won like 4 races and in route to the championship. And so now you're continuing that trend of hitting your peaks at the right time. But you got to thank Logan for putting together a schedule that is Auto Club next week and then Talladega to get to the round of 4. So going to be an interesting couple weeks. But tonight is all about you. You kicked everybody's asses. You did a Kyle Larson type of race, and you're going to move it on to the round of 8. How's it feel?
Man, it feels awesome, man. It always feels good to win. Any chance you get to win against these guys. I mean, these series, these guys that race here in Goat Locker Racing are some of the best out there, if you'd ask me. So when you get to put on a show like I did tonight and park it in Victory Lane, man, it feels really, really good. I mean, Ryan Pendleton is always tough to beat, and he was in a must-win situation here tonight. So didn't know, where he was going to come from or what he was going to do. Chris Morris was hanging with me there for a little while. Dan Cunningham always finds a way to sneak his way up there towards the end, and then Jake Ellingson, another steady race, man. So it feels great, to get this 07 Hidden Wit Brewery Camaro in Victory Lane. Does each and every time. And so, yeah, can't wait to kick off the next round next week. That's an interesting round for sure. Love Auto Club. Auto Club will be a lot of fun. Talladega, well, we'll just see what happens. We opened up the season at Daytona with a drafting win. Maybe we'll pick up another one at Talladega. Who knows?
Sounds good. Well, who do you have to thank for your win tonight, Pat?
Man, Lincoln Tech. All the awesome stuff that they do for us. They've been a part of us, at least for, a year at this point in time. Sponsored a lot of things for us. We got the car show coming up with them at the end of June. So if you happen to be in the Indianapolis area, last Saturday of June from 5 to 8 at the Lincoln Tech campus, come out and see us. Gonna be a great time. Save 22 and all the wonderful things they were doing. They had Tuesday Talk this morning. If you didn't catch it, go to the YouTube channel, check it out. Again, doing amazing stuff with them as well. May 3rd is the big hike in Massillon, Ohio. Hidden Wit Brewery. They've been with us for a year at this point in time, and I love running their colors, love running their car. So if you happen to be out there in Virginia and want to grab a beer and a bite, head over to Hidden Wit. And then the Indiana Department of Veterans Affairs. We were delivering a swim rig yesterday with them. Brad Harper was with me. We delivered a swim rig yesterday to Tyler White, which was phenomenal. But thanks to you, Eddie, and everything that you do up in the broadcast booth. It's you're an unsung hero for sure. And I see Jake and Linke hanging out too. That's pretty awesome. But thanks a bunch, Eddie. Can't wait till next week.
All right, there you have it. Your winner, Patrick Rabbit, takes the victory here in the round of 12. And, I think, Jake, I think you're caught up with Ryan Pendleton. I think you might have some exciting news.
Yeah, I just might. Ryan, it's Jake Linke in the booth. You got us?
I got you. What's up?
Heck of a battle for your third with Jake and Levi in that first run. Were you thinking about points there, or were you just running your race and seeing how everything played out?
I was hoping that NASCAR and Goat Locker check Pat's car because I think Harry put a fuel line that holds an extra gallon of fuel in it because he was able to run faster laps and had more fuel than me at the end and I ran one more lap in the first run. So that's what I'm hoping you're telling me. Pat's disqualified for the rest of the playoffs. No, interesting race. We typically go green, and I was telling Pat and them that. I'm like, man, Richmond and Goat Locker, we tend to go green, which I know isn't what people would think. So I started to try to save tire in the beginning and let those two go in the front, and it was dumb because we ended up getting in fuel-saving mode right away. So I just lost all the track position. Never could make it up. I didn't have the speed to beat Pat anyways. He had it figured out pretty good. So I had to win tonight, and I was like, I knew about 3/4 of the way, and I had no shot at winning unless Pat ran out of fuel, and I didn't want that to happen again.
All right, so you were in a must-win this week. Didn't play out the way that you wanted it to. You did exactly what you needed to for the back half of the race. Pat just had that little extra something, like you mentioned.
The fuel line, yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
hypothetically, I would say, how do you think your performance in Auto Club in Talladega is going to be compared to tonight?
Compared to the night, Auto Club, it would be a crapshoot for me. I've ran really well there, and I've got used up there pretty good. Talladega, everyone's great at Talladega, right? So we'll see. I just learned that was the cutoff race for the championship, which I think is something that's exciting. So yeah, it's anyone's game at Talladega, as always.
Yep, Logan definitely put that together. Finally, who do you have to thank for your performance here tonight?
Everyone that supports Goat Locker, you guys. Jacob, I didn't know you're up here in the booth tonight. That's awesome. Awesome to see you up with Eddie. I'm sure you did a great job. Appreciate it. Everyone that helps support Goat Locker, Jam Printing Promotions, Hidden Wit Brewery for the series, Alexander PCs, and of course I got Cruising Classics on this car. So, yep, everyone that supports the league, everyone that drives in the league, appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your time.
Yep, thanks.
Ryan, before you go, we'll kind of talk about something here because we've got a situation we've never been in. And I want to talk about it a little bit because this is the most exciting part of the race. I don't know if you know this, but you are 2 points in and you had to win because you missed last week. However, the guys in front of you who you passed tonight were not here tonight. They would have had to make this race. I'm curious that you might actually be in the round of 8 because if you had to win because you missed last week and they missed this week, and the people we're talking about is Frederick Seagraves Jr., Jamie Barkas, Jonah Colbert, and we've been calling it the ghost of Michael Kostick all night because it's who you've been racing in the point situation. You were tied with those points for a long time. You stayed out, you led a lap, which gave you an extra point, and then Morse double pitted. So you're actually 2 points in the round of 8. And if that holds where they needed to be here tonight to move on, you were actually in the round of 8. So
wow, I've been meaning to order some Big Fish barbecue, so I have to actually see if that gets me in for sure. But no, that's awesome. I hope so because it seems like it could be anyone's shot to move on in the next couple rounds.
All right. Well, unofficially, I'm going to say you're in. I have no say in it, but I like
I'm in.
it.
Then Eddie said it. I'm in.
Yeah, unofficially,
congratulations.
Ryan Pendleton in the round of 8. We'll see what they rule, but it should be interesting for sure with the way things played out. Congratulations, Ryan.
Yeah, thanks, Eddie. Appreciate it.
All right, sorry for cutting in there, Jacob. I just wanted to kind of because we were trying to figure it out behind the scenes, and for those of you who are still watching, bless your heart if you're still watching. What we're trying to figure out is there is a rule in Goat Locker that says that you in the playoffs, you have to make both races. If you miss a race, no matter the point situation, you have to win to move on. Well, being that he missed last week, Ryan Pendleton, he needed to win. However, the 4 drivers ahead of him in points missed tonight. So they would have been in a similar situation. So we don't know what they'll rule 100%. I don't. Common sense would tell me that he is in because those drivers missed tonight. But we'll see what they decide. Interesting either way. If Ryan Pendleton doesn't make it into the playoffs, it'll be Michael Kostick, and I'd say both those drivers very much deserving. But we got to get our in-race reporter in here and talk to him. He's been waiting patiently as we've been rambling about points. But Cunningham, we talked to you early in the race. Seemed like you had the situation on fuel figured out, and you came home third. Talk a little bit about your race tonight.
Yeah, just kind of lacking the short run speed. Once we got into a run, it seemed like I could, for the most part, I could run within like a half a tenth or so of what what Pat and even Chris before he had his different pitch strategy and everything, like what they were running, it kind of evened out. But I told Pat in the waiting room, I said, I don't know how he kept that pace that he kept and it still was able to one stop it on fuel, because when Chris stopped, I knew him and Pat were running kind of a similar pace. I thought for sure, I'm like, man, ain't no way Pat can make this on one stop with that pace he's running. But he proved me wrong. So I know Pendleton told him just now that said they need to take him to the tech shed. So I've heard of grip hacks, but I ain't never heard of fuel hacks before. So maybe we got a new one that we got to keep an eye out for out there in iRacing world.
Yeah, we need to cut one of his frames or tubes on his frame and see if a fuel pours out or something. He had a little bit extra, didn't he? Well,
yeah, he must have kept it in his water bottle or something in the car.
Well, I tell you what, still a great race from you. You played everything perfectly, and you came home with a third place finish. Great race, great season so far. I mean, you've got a couple series, man, that you're fighting hard here. You're showing some real good speed. You're kind of peaking at the right time, it seems. I don't know. Do you feel that way?
Yeah, it seems like as the season's going on, I've started building a little bit of momentum in the right direction. This is the only series that I'm actually in the playoffs, so I had to miss a few weeks in ARCA. But yeah, it seems like the podium finishes are coming a little bit more frequent. So I'm getting back into that Sheldon Creed territory of how many times can I finish second or third. But at least I got the one at Wilkesboro a couple weeks ago. So I always joke that I'm my wife's second favorite driver because she likes Sheldon too. So she just likes the dorky guys that don't win a whole lot. So, yeah, but yeah, it's definitely been a good season. It was frustrating as hell at the beginning of the year because I just seemed like I kept doing dumb stuff. Some of it was my own making, some of it was getting caught up in other people's messes, but it's definitely turning around at the right time.
Yeah, it's crazy what a win can do for somebody. Well, congratulations for third. You're moving on. Auto Club Talladega should be a fun couple of races. And man, who do you have to thank here tonight?
Yeah, appreciate y'all doing the broadcast and all the admins for the work that they put into the series. Appreciate Chuck for running race control. He didn't have a whole lot to do tonight, so I'm sure that he got a couple crayon snacks in there while he was watching us run around the track. Our league sponsors, iRacing, Above the Yellow Line, Sim Motion, Hidden Wit Brewery, and Ghost Energy.
All right. Well, there you have it. Third place finisher and in-race reporter Daniel Cunningham here tonight. And, well, Jacob, we're at the end of this one. We're moving on to the round of 8. We've got our round of 8 pretty much set. And, we can kind of announce the drivers we know. Levi McCarty, Patrick Drabick, Daniel Cunningham, Christopher Morse Jr., Jacob Ellingson, George Jewell, and Chris Sawyer. The question about Ryan Pendleton is out there. And like I said, by the points he's in and by the rule he's in. So we'll see what they decide to do, how they figure that out. If not, it'll be Michael Kostick. But right now, Ryan Pendleton is showing that driver in the 8th spot. For a race that had so few little drivers, still had a lot of drama, Jacob.
Yeah, get the excitement where you make it. It was awesome having this experience up in the booth. I know I'm still learning with this whole thing. No better teacher. But yeah, it was trial by fire. I really appreciated you bringing me in here.
Well, you did a fantastic job. And if anybody's still listening, y'all let Jacob know in Discord how well he did, because I think he did a fantastic job. And thank our in-race reporter, Daniel Cunningham, for doing that. That made it a lot of fun to talk to somebody while they're on the track, get a little bit of that insider info. Well, I'm Eddie Smith with Jacob Linke, Adam Baker, Bradley Cooper, everybody over here at V-Speed. We want to thank y'all for being a part of our show tonight. Hope y'all enjoyed it. Thanks to all of our sponsors, Lincoln Tech, Hidden Wit Brewery Company, and Save 22. We'll see y'all later.